Hello everyone, in this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Shahbaz Gill to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Shahbaz Gill's words. The first news is short, but very important. According to our sources, a new crackdown plan is being made targeting students of public sector universities. The plan is to summon university vice-chancellors and professors to a central office in groups and inform them that if any student from their university criticizes the Field Marshal or his close associates, the responsibility will also fall on the professors and vice-chancellors along with the students. Now, obviously, implementing this is very difficult because university students, unlike school children, cannot have their social media accounts controlled by professors or vice-chancellors. So the plan includes instructing these professors and VCs to identify 4 to 10 politically vocal students from their respective universities, those who express strong political opinions on social media. These students are to be identified and expelled first to set an example, create fear in universities and suppress student dissent on social media. Sources say the plan hasn't yet been implemented but may begin in the coming days. We're informing you in advance. The easy solution is create a social media account not under your real name. For example, create a fan page of our DGISPR with his photo, then who would know whose account it is? But don't post anything illegal or abusive. Polite criticism is your right. In fact, it's your duty. Next story from Islamabad. This is not confirmed news, rather gossip from our sources, but important enough to share. If delayed, you might say, why didn't you tell us earlier? The gossip from Islamabad is that the most powerful figure in the country is being advised to use the 27th Amendment to formally consolidate power, potentially giving them head of state authority. Whether they'll accept this advice, we don't know yet. But talks are underway among the most influential circles. It's being suggested that Asim Munir should become head of state, since he already deals with everything. If he isn't made head of state, how will he continue to handle all affairs? This ties into the next bit. The political party PMLN is now almost finished. At the White House, the Field Marshal ate the famous lamb chops, and in return, the Pakistani nation will pay the bill. You'll find out later what that cost is. As they say, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Our DGISI and National Security Advisor, Lieutenant General Asim Munir, led the delegation to China, managing diplomatic affairs there. On one side, the Field Marshal was in the United States. On the other, Asim Munir was in China. Only Saudi Arabia remains. The Field Marshal frequently visits there anyway. So, out of the 3 most important countries for Pakistan, military generals are now leading diplomacy in 2. Reports suggest the Field Marshal himself may soon visit China. This confirms what we've been telling you. PMLN is no longer needed. Their time is up. Link this back to the earlier gossip about the 27th Amendment. It seems the Field Marshal may indeed be seeking to become head of state. Again, as mentioned, these are gossips, not 100% confirmed. High-level sources pass these on to us. Unlike others, I don't pretend they're verified facts, just sharing what we're hearing. If it turns out wrong, not my responsibility. If correct, enjoy the insight. President Trump has begun harshly criticizing Israel. You know, he recently used a vulgar term, yes, the F-word, reportedly directed at the Israeli Prime Minister. Now, at a NATO conference in Europe, Trump praised Iran, saying Iran gave Israel a beating like never before. He even admired Iran's missile capabilities. This unpredictability from Trump is, honestly, quite significant. At the moment, things look fine for those who had lunch with the Field Marshal and Moeed. But if Trump's mood shifts, Pakistan may also find itself in his crosshairs. Israeli media and outlets like the New York Times and CNN show that Iran suffered little damage. Iran is now even celebrating, believing it achieved a significant win against global powers despite limited resources and a lack of strong support from the Muslim world. Given the circumstances, Iran launching missiles protecting itself, reaching ceasefire agreements and now being praised by a US president, it's indeed a victory for them. During Iran's celebration in Tehran, General Esmail Khani, the head of Iran's Quds force, previously reported martyred, appeared alive. Major global media, including the New York Times, had reported his death. Iran is now recognizing the martyrs of this conflict, military leaders and scientists, and will hold public funerals on Saturday. That's a good move for public participation and morale. New reports suggest every tactic was used for regime change in Iran. Netanyahu wanted it at any cost. Trump wasn't fully on board with military regime change, but wouldn't have objected if it happened. Iran's military and public showed maturity and resisted becoming pawns. According to the Washington Post, an audio recording shows Israeli intelligence warning Iranian generals to flee or be killed. Those who could were advised to abandon military duty or leave Iran. Recall earlier drone strikes that killed Iranian leaders. After that, it was expected more leaders would be targeted. Yet, despite these threats, Iran's armed forces stayed loyal to the constitution. They didn't declare martial law or seize power, unlike what might have happened in a country like Pakistan. Even though the Iranian regime has flaws, the military worked within the system. Compare this to Pakistan, where we declare my dear countrymen the moment things escalate. Iran's military deserves credit for resisting the temptation of martial law. Last time, Trump had issues with NATO members not spending enough on defense. The United States bears more of the financial burden. Richard Grenell, the former US ambassador to Germany, had demanded Germany spend at least 2.5% to 3% of its GDP on defense. They didn't comply, causing tensions. Now, at the current NATO summit, members have agreed to spend 5% of their national budgets on NATO by the year 2035. This is a major development, strengthening NATO, especially against Russia. Turkey remains the only Muslim country in NATO. Turkish President Erdogan met Trump at the summit. Strengthening NATO likely aims to prepare for possible future conflict with Russia or China. The next news is about a hearing that took place in the United States, specifically a hearing related to human rights in the US Congress. During this hearing, journalist Ahmad Noorani presented his testimony. He stated that Pakistan Army's intelligence agencies tried to blackmail him on American soil. He said his family back home was targeted. His elderly mother's pension account was closed and all avenues were blocked for him. His brothers were kidnapped and kept for a month before being released. The sole reason, according to Noorani, was that he had published a story critical of Field Marshal Asim Munir. He testified to all this during a congressional hearing in Washington, D.C. His testimony was bold and forthright. He claimed that Pakistani military intelligence agencies not only monitor people in Pakistan, but also pursue individuals in the US. And if someone says something from abroad, their families back home are targeted. He described methods like online surveillance, intimidation, threatening phone calls, blackmailing, harassing family members, and cyberbullying. He alleged that all of these actions were led by General Asim Munir, the current chief of the Pakistan Army. Ahmad Noorani said that under Asim Munir's leadership, the military escalated its crackdown on dissenters, targeted journalists, abducted and tortured political workers, and openly rigged the elections. His testimony was quite explosive and powerful. Now, you might say, well, nothing will happen because they had lunch with President Trump. But that's not how things work. I keep reminding you, you can't press a button here and get results instantly. Struggles for truth and justice are long and hard. Imran Khan is prepared for that struggle, and so must you be. With patience, each drop counts. These testimonies will never go to waste. At some point, they'll be useful. Let the energy of these efforts build up. With time, you'll realize their value. Now, on to the next story, related to Ali Amin Gandapur. Today, he suddenly appeared in the courtroom of Justice Mansour Ali Shah, bringing along Latif Khosa. He said he wanted permission to meet Imran Khan. Justice Mansour Ali Shah was surprised. After all, this is the Supreme Court, not a neighborhood grocery shop where you can just walk in and ask for half a kilo of sugar. He was understandably startled by the informal approach. The justice told him that a formal application is required to make such a request. Without it, nothing could be done. I too was surprised, because Imran Khan has been saying for the past 5 or 6 weeks that people should meet him. If Ali Amin Gandapur genuinely wanted to meet him, he should have filed such an application earlier, as he did today. Today, we've learned that he finally filed the application, but only after the budget was passed. Before the budget, he didn't go near any such effort. In fact, he set a record by passing the budget earlier than any other region in Pakistan, even before Punjab, Sindh or the federal budget, despite Imran Khan saying no budget should pass without my approval. So if a meeting with Imran Khan was so important, it should have been sought earlier. Moreover, Muzammil Aslam must also answer why he kept KPK's funds in surplus by cutting back on public spending. Imran Khan from jail has questioned this surplus. Why has so much money been held back when KPK is already suffering from terrorism and underdevelopment? Their already small budget was cut even further. and that should not have happened. Before wrapping up, one more story. Today, a reporter asked Ali Amin Gandapur during a conversation, "Are you sidelining Imran Khan?" Gandapur replied, "Who can sideline him?" The reporter said, "His sister is saying so." To which Gandapur replied dismissively, "If his sister is saying it, then go ask his sister." He added, "Imran Khan is my leader. I'm answerable only to him. Now, Ali Amin Gandapur is our colleague and friend, and I have a request for him. Sisters are shared and respected by all, especially here. Imran Khan's sister deserves that same respect. You've lived in Lahore. You can't later claim ignorance. Sometimes Pashto-speaking friends mix things up linguistically. But this is not about grammar. You said, 'Go ask his sister,' when you could have respectfully referred to her by name or simply said, 'She's like an elder sister to all of us.' You could have ignored the question or responded more maturely. But the way you said it, I'll be honest, I did not like it. That's why I'm publicly expressing my disapproval. Maybe it won't matter to you, maybe it never will, but I feel it's my responsibility to tell you the tone was inappropriate and unbefitting of you. I've interacted with you many times in the party and never saw you speak like this before. Khan Sahib's sisters are all of our sisters. Just like we respect the women in your family, we expect the same for Khan Sahib's family." That wraps up our translation of Shahbaz Gill's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.